Karen, you've been really transparent about the role and the insight, the role in writing this book, and the insights that came from that and how that sort of led to your decision to leave the Harvard Business Review and focus on your family. You still have a lot of gigs going on because we have some projects going on with you, and I know how busy you are. Would you be willing to share kind of what the discovery phase was you went through and how understanding how to measure your own life had an impact in your life?
Sure. So when I initially went to Clay's office to start writing what was the article that we wrote in Harvard Business Review, I was really just an editor on a deadline. I was looking for an extra article to fill a double issue. We had for the Harvard Business Review had a double issue in July, August of that year. And I was just trying to fill a hole quickly. And I had heard that Clay had given a really moving speech to his graduating class, to the whole graduating class. And I thought, great, sounds like a commencement kind of thing. We can put it in our July, August issue, I'll be done. So I turned up with just the expectation of I can get something done really quickly, and it's Clay Christensen, how could you go wrong? So when I walked into his office, all I was thinking about was the article and the students and what they had thought about it and just how to write it. And I sat down with the digital recorder, and he and I started talking, and we talked about some of the things we've just talked about now and more. And I sat there for an hour and a half, and it was the beginning of me completely changing my life. When I walked out to the parking lot of Harvard Business School, I literally stood by my car with my keys in my hand and didn't put them in the car for probably about 10 minutes thinking about what he had just said, in particular this strategy question, right? Your strategy is formed by the everyday choices you make about your resources, your processes, your priorities, right? Where do you put your personal energy? What do you say matters most? How do you make that clear? What choices matter, what don't? All of those things. And I would for sure have told you before that day that my family was my greatest priority in life. But as I stood there by my car thinking about my everyday choices, I know that that was not true. My work was, and I loved my work. And I had this sense that I could balance both, and I convinced myself that I could balance both. But as I stood there, I realized I was not building the strategy for my life that I really wanted. I really wanted my family to be my priority, and I wanted to make work an important second choice, but a second choice. And so with that slow realization and thinking through, how do I really shift my priorities? I spent about a year with my husband and I talking and working through how we do it. But at the end of that year, I resigned as the editor of Harvard Business Review with goodwill on both sides. And my husband and I sort of started to reshuffle our life so that work became built around family, and family was first. And that was 8 years ago, almost now. And haven't regretted a minute of it. It's been fantastic.